Hey guys, what's up? It is Sabres fan here, bringing you guys some more NHL content. Today, we are going to be going over some season previews. So I've got some jerseys for the collection that I've been adding. Today, we just got the white Vegas Golden Knights away. It's pretty amazing. Not going to lie, I actually really do love it. As much as I don't like the team, their jersey is absolutely pretty sick. I've acquired a Winnipeg Jets home. I've acquired a Minnesota Wild away. I've acquired a Chicago Blackhawks home. And I've acquired a Nashville Predators home as well that are with me. So we'll be doing season previews for those teams as well coming in the next few days. For right now, we're just going to go over Vegas. I'll go over all 31 teams as well. I've got some notes written down here just to go over last season, some notable forwards, defensemen and goalies, and whatnot. So let's get right into it. So for Vegas last year, it was a disappointing year. Obviously, they make the playoffs, they go pretty deep, and then an unsuspecting team in Montreal knocks them out in 6 games in the conference finals. The North Division was like the other half of the West playoffs. It was weird. Only a 56-game season too, so can we really put it towards it? Kind of, but not really, I don't think. I mean, some teams clearly overperformed, some teams underperformed. It was a weird year. So they finished second in the West. It was a pretty stacked division up top, and then at the bottom you had the California teams, which kind of gave free wins out to those top teams. I'm looking at Colorado, Vegas, St. Louis, Minnesota had a good year for some reason as well. So in 56 games for Vegas last year, they finished 40, 14, and 2 for 82 points. They were a plus 67 in the goal differential, so very, very solid there. As we take a look at it, they scored 191 goals, which was third in the NHL last year, and they only gave up 124 goals, which was good for first in the entire league. So defensively, very solid. Offensively, just as good. And you look at a team like this and you wonder how they haven't won a Stanley Cup yet. And the fans are probably getting a little bit restless right now. After their 4th year in the league now, and didn't they say they wanted a cup within their first 5? I believe they did. So this is the year for Vegas to get that cup. Their power play was 17.8%, and their penalty kill a very, very good 86.8%. So they did not give up a lot of power play goals against, and yeah, it just speaks to not letting in goals with only 124 total. Their leading scorer last year in the regular season was Mark Stone, 55 games played, 21 goals, 40 assists, 61 points. He was over a point per game. He's their captain now. He's the leader of this team. He's the star player up front that you're looking for when you need a goal for Vegas. And then in the playoffs, in 19 games played, it was William Karlsson, 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points, just under a point per game, but it's the playoffs, and you got to expect a little bit less production. Obviously, teams much more shutting down, playing better defensively, lower scoring games, and the better teams make the playoffs. So not as much, but still a very good playoffs for Wild Bill and William Karlsson. So let's go over some notable forwards, defensemen, and goaltenders. People that will make the roster and could be pushing for a spot. So up front, obviously, guys like Mark Stone, William Karlsson, Max Pacioretty are the big 3 you're looking at. Other big performers as well, guys like Riley Smith, Alex Tuch, Chandler Stevenson had a pretty good season as well. Matthias Janmark, who came over in the trade deadline, and they re-signed him to a 1-year deal. Very good pickup for Vegas. Nick Waugh, another really solid young player that's come out of nowhere and plays for Vegas and fits that style really, really well. And then your depth guys like Will Carrier, a former Buffalo Sabre, got the pick in the expansion draft for Vegas. And then other notable forwards for me. Obviously, they make the trade for Evgeny Dadonov out of Ottawa. Maybe he can roll into a third-line forward spot on Vegas and find his game, unlike he did in Ottawa. It just did not work for Dadonov in Ottawa. Guys that are, pushing up into this roster, I'm looking at Peyton Krebs, a really good prospect for them. Sounds like he's the asking price or the start of the asking price in a potential Jack Eichel trade to Vegas, if that does ever happen, if that whole saga will ever come to an end. And then new faces for this team. Guys like Nolan Patrick. Could he be a third-line center for this Vegas Golden Knights team? Can he revamp and refine his career after some injury issues? Obviously, his migraine disorder in Philadelphia just never worked out. He never got the ice time he rightfully deserved. And I actually really, really, really like that pickup for Vegas. I think Nolan Patrick could be a very, very scary third-line center for a Vegas Golden Knights team. He's going to fit in well with the Golden Knights team, I think. Throw him on a line with Matthias Janmark, Dadonov even maybe on that right side, Peyton Krebs maybe. Did they slide Nick Waugh to a wing? You never know. Their bottom six is very versatile when it comes to that. Other new faces, Brett Howden, hasn't really broken through yet. Could be a good fourth liner. Keegan Colasar had some games last year, looked pretty good. I think he could push for that fourth line right wing spot. And then some other depth guys. You're looking at Thomas Yurko and Patrick Brown. So a very, very deep forward core. This team should have absolutely no issues scoring yet again. And honestly, I like this forward core a little bit better. They do lose Ryan Reeves as they traded him to the Rangers. Does that lose a little bit of the identity to this Vegas team? Potentially. But in the end, I think they made the right moves to try and win a Stanley Cup. Defensively, this team is absolutely stacked. They have like 7 or 8 very capable defensemen. It's interesting to see who's going to get those bottom 2 spots. Their top 4 is absolutely set. You have guys like Alec Martinez, re-signed as well. Alex Pietrangelo, fantastic fit in Vegas. Shea Theodore, is highly, underrated still, even though he's getting a lot of attention, I think. Brayden McNabb, who's really broken out since getting picked by Vegas in the expansion draft from LA. Nick Hague, I'm actually a very big fan of Nick Hague. Interesting to see if he does get that, bottom pairing spot. Zach Whitecloud, probably about 2 years ago, I had no idea who this guy was, and here he is, filling in minutes for Vegas defense. Dylan Coghlan, another very solid young defenseman, right shot, hard to come by in the NHL. I like Dylan Coghlan as well. Jake Bischoff as well, another prospect looking to get his opportunity as well. And then Kaden Korsak, another prospect that maybe makes the jump, maybe sees ice time if there's injuries. Probably is just going to be playing in Henderson this year down at the Silver Knights. But still, that's 9 defensemen right there. 7 very capable, with Coghlan being the last one that I see on that list that can definitely make this roster. And then Jake Bischoff potentially pushing for another spot. And then in net, obviously, Marc-Andre Fleury gets traded for literally nothing to Chicago. Decides to play for them this year, so Vegas stabbed him in the back twice now. But that's a huge loss for them. That's a big part of their identity was Fleury. He was the face of this franchise ever since Dave came into the league. And does that hurt them? Yes. Quite frankly, yes, it does. It does hurt this Golden Knights team. But Robin Lehner, obviously they're number 1 now. He's taken over that spot with Fleury getting traded. Still a very capable goaltender. We've seen it when he gets revived in New York with the Islanders. Goes to Chicago, has a bit of a down year, gets traded off to Vegas, and there you go. Robin Lehner's right back. So for Robin Lehner, he's going to have to carry some more weight this year, obviously. It's not going to be a 1A, 1B with Fleury being 1A and Lehner being 1B. He's going to take that starting job, but I think Robin Lehner is very capable of doing that. They bring in Laurent Brossoit to be the backup, the number 2. I really like this. He had a bit of a strange year in Winnipeg, but we've seen what Brossoit is capable of, even back when he was with Edmonton as well, and put a Vegas team that I just listed off these players in front of him. Brossoit should have a pretty good bounce-back season with the Golden Knights. I'm a big Brossoit fan ever since he was back with Edmonton, so I actually really like that pickup for Vegas. And then Oscar Dansk. He's the 3 in the organization. I'm not really too sure how many games Dansk does see. If there's an injury, obviously, he'll be coming up. He's probably number 3 in the system. But back in the day, he was looked at as a potential starter back for Columbus when he was a prospect with them. It's never really panned out. But he's a pretty capable number 3 in an organization, and I don't have really any issues with Brossoit and Leonard being the 1 and 2, and then Dansk being the number 3. So my prediction for the Vegas Golden Knights in the Pacific Division, it's pretty weak. I'm not gonna lie. San Jose, Anaheim, LA, even Arizona's obviously moved to the Central, but you have Seattle, the new expansion team. How good are they going to be? How do you even predict how good they're going to be? And then like Vancouver, Calgary, it's shaky. So my prediction for Vegas is going to be first in the Pacific. I don't think that should come as a surprise to anyone. This should be the top team in the Pacific. If it's not, it's probably Edmonton, and this Golden Knights roster finishes in second. I don't see any other way that the Pacific can fall other than Vegas and Edmonton 1 and 2. However, they flip-flop. I would put money on Vegas being first, but we'll see what happens. Maybe injuries happen and changes it. Well, my prediction is first in the Pacific. And then looking ahead to their opening schedule, I've just put down the first 5 games. We have the home opener, obviously. This is the NHL, putting it all on a show. It was Seattle's first game. The 2 most recent expansion teams going at it. So Vegas will host Seattle on October 13th. That's going to be a fun one to watch. I don't expect Seattle to come out and win that on the road, in Vegas. But I'll tell you one thing, the Fortress is going to be rocking, that's for sure. Then Vegas heads out to LA. They'll play the Kings. And then they come home for a 3-game homestand where they'll host St. Louis, Edmonton, and then the Islanders. So it's actually a relatively tough schedule to start this season for them. I mean, Seattle, we don't know what to expect. I expect them to come out ready to play, ready to prove themselves, just as Vegas did back in 2017. So it'll be a fun first game for sure. LA should be a give me, but I guess you never know. And then 3 capable teams of postseason action. St. Louis, Edmonton, obviously, and then the New York Islanders, who also went to the conference finals this year. So let me know what you guys think on my Vegas Golden Knights, season preview here for 2021-2022, the upcoming season. It's the first season, preview I've gone through. We'll have a bunch of other teams coming out here soon. Got to write up the stats, the players, and what I think will happen with these teams. But for right now, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to drop a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe for more NHL content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.